Brought to you by the Philanthropreneur Foundation, a nonprofit for nonprofits. The Wealthy Teacher Show is sponsored by Agent with Heart, Real Estate Agents Giving Back, Softfront.com, CRM for your marketing needs, and HempWorks, CBD oil, changing lives one drop at a time. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Wealthy Teacher Show. I'm glad you came back to join us. You know, the Wealthy Teacher Show, it's not about me. It's about all the fabulous people that I meet all the time that are actually wealthy teachers in themselves. And I get so excited when I meet all of these other wealthy teachers that are helping others, sharing knowledge, being mentors and teachers to so many. So today, you know what, we're going to talk about some of my mistakes. Yep, I make mistakes. Some people would say, no, I make mistakes. So when I moved to Nevada, I went through a steep learning curve. I was trying to figure out what I needed. But what I decided and what I found out that I was actually creating my encore career. I had never really heard that term before, but it's when others that retire, but they're not really ready to retire. They just have sort of left one career, and then they go about the process of discovering what's next. And it's interesting because that's the title of my first book. I hadn't really put the things together. My first book, called The Wealthy Teacher, answering the question, what's next, was really my journey of going through the process of rediscovering what was my passion. I was just doing things blindly, sort of testing out things that sounded interesting, but they really didn't connect with me. And what I saw that was missing, it was just that piece, it was my you values. I had to really focus on what was my passion. And what that led to was me really being able to share that with others and let them know that, you know, if you're not following your passion, you're really not being and gaining everything that you want out of life. You also stay sort of unsatisfied all the time. So in that quest, I'm always sharing knowledge. I'm always being that teacher per se. So once I realized what was missing for me, which was I love training. I love sharing knowledge. I love talking about the experiences I had and how it perhaps can help benefit other people grow and do the things they want to do. It really changed my entire life. It took me back, and I focused on my you values. It became my compass of everything that I developed from that forward, moving forward. So what did I do? I ventured into being an entrepreneur. I didn't want to work for anybody. I had done that for 30-some years. I wanted to do what I wanted to do because technically I was retired, not really, but even though I had left one career, I wasn't done sharing. I still had things that I wanted to do. And so that passion became sharing knowledge. And here I am today. I created the Philanthropreneur Foundation. And the reason I'm mentioning that, because it's going to tie into a lot of what we're talking about today with our guest, who is Kellen Kautzman. The whole concept of being a philanthropreneur is taking marketing. Now, when I created my business, being an entrepreneur, I didn't know anything. I'm going to be honest. I was working on the what, you know, what it is I'm giving, but I did not do anything beyond that. I wasn't looking at marketing, because if you think about it, I was in the education sector for over 32 years. Do teachers have to market themselves? Not really. Just think about it. We stand outside of our classroom door. The students walk right into us where we are. So that was a big failure on my part. Yeah, I created some great things. I had my book, the different entities, consulting, but I didn't market it. So once I realized that I was missing those key pieces, I found the gap in what I was doing. Now, I was working with the nonprofit sector, and a big aha moment that happened was because the National Center for Nonprofit Statistics and GuideStar, it's two of the biggest organizations that do some research in that market. They stated that the top 3 challenges, one of them was marketing. And here I am teaching nonprofits about management, but I was more looking at the boards and governance and things like that. But their biggest challenge was marketing. So for me, I turned that failure into an opportunity. I took a deep dive into learning everything I could about marketing. I did webinars, which sort of led to my second book, which was Webinar Secrets from the Wealthy Teacher, because being an educator, I'm looking at all these webinars that were, I hate to say it, awful. I couldn't even sit on them for more than 9 or 10 minutes. And so I wrote a book called The Wealthy Teacher's Wow 'em, How to Create a Webinar That's Driven with Value, hoping to teach someone else how to create a webinar that at least I could sit through. But what that has done for me is really make me understand the value of marketing and how to use it. And that's why I'm so glad that we have our guest on today, Kellen Kautzman of Send It Rising. He's on our board. He's great. He is the one that inspired me to create the Wealthy Teacher Show with his insight about the value of video, the value of being the expert in your field. So we're going to be right back with Kellen Kautzman of Send It Rising. Stay tuned. And before we get started, once again, I want to really thank our sponsors, Agent with Heart. That's agentwithheart.net. And also Softfront, Customer Relations Management at www.softfront.com. And finally, HempWorks, changing lives one drop at a time. hempworks.com/rocksplace. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Wealthy Teacher Show. We're now getting ready to go into Voices from the Field segment. And I'm really excited that we can also feature being a philanthropreneur all in one, because our guest is the model of both. Welcome, Kellen. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited and really honored to have you here, because I don't know if you know, you were the catalyst for this show, of me launching the Wealthy Teacher Show with our conversation, and you really beating me up, about doing video. But Kellen Kautzman is the owner of Send It Rising Marketing and the author of Everybody's Doing It, Advertising Redefined. I want to redesign it too. But I'm so excited. But Kellen, just give us a little background of who you are.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like there is really only one true skill, and that's imagination. And those that really understand that can hold that vision in their mind, that goal, and then work towards it, are those that just do incredible things. So I'm so proud of you. You know that I love you. I think you're amazing. And what you're doing here is just so cool. And we talk a lot about authenticity, and I think we're going to chat about that a little bit today.
Yes, we are.
But, just so everyone out there kind of understands, like, that doing that just requires, and from your own lives, it's just a little bit of a perspiration, a little bit of heart palpitations every now and then.
How about just plain stress?
It can be a little stressful.
A little stressful. I won't say I've been up all night just
Right.
But the feeling you get after that, I talk a lot about passion. It's the passion that carries you through. It really is. It's the passion that carries you through. And another reason that we really connected, you were a teacher also. He is a wealthy teacher.
Kind words. So I'm lucky. I ended up, formed Send It Rising Internet Marketing. We definitely have a cause marketing soul, and we'll talk about that a little bit later with some of the stuff we're doing with Mission High School. And then we have a small real estate investment company, Kautzman Properties, and then we just formed the third company called Crypto Miner Group,
Wow.
which is riding this whole kind of Bitcoin craze. And at the end of the day, my mom, who passed away when I was 26, she was just, I guess you could say she was almost like a celebrity in her own right. As a teacher in a small town in North Dakota, she was a phenomenal ally for the disenfranchised kids.
Okay.
You know, and they just absolutely loved her. And at her funeral, there was this incredible, like a bunch of kids did all these little mini plays. It was just absolutely beautiful. And so I'm a mixture of my father and my mom. My father apparently was an entrepreneur, and so I've managed to mix these two things together. And education is advertising in 2018.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even reading your book, I'm like, oh my God, this is really reiterating a lot of the things. And it's interesting that you're drawing all these parallels, because when I wrote The Wealthy Teacher, my first book, answering the question, what's next? The entire first section of it is explaining how I am a combination, my yin and yang. My father was the entrepreneur.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
My mother was a university librarian.
All right.
Okay, so, that's like total opposite. I taught dance for 28 years, the
Right.
creative mind, and here I am now doing management and operations. Okay. But still, so tell us just a little bit more about Send It Rising.
Yeah, so Send It Rising, believe it or not, call it 8 or 9 years ago, I was teaching at the St. Paul Conservatory for Performing Artists in St. Paul.
He's a phenomenal keyboardist, just letting you know, phenomenal.
Thank you. We ended up playing a concert, and the name of my band at the time was
Send It Rising.
And the students rushed the stage at the end of the performance, and it was just this amazing, amazing feeling to teach these students all year, for them to not really know this side of me,
Yeah.
and then for them, I let loose on stage. I had fun that night.
We sort of do that when we get the lights on us.
Yeah, and so
It's something about these lights that turn us into these different people.
and you definitely know that
Yeah.
from experience. But Send It Rising as the internet marketing company is kind of an extension of that feeling. Business owners are, in a lot of ways, you can see it, as I struggle to find the words, it is so bold what they do.
Yeah.
And it is so challenging, and the success rates are so low. It's kind of a lot like a band. If you think about it, not a lot of them get there. A lot fail,
Yeah.
and when they fail, and you don't really hear about it. The failed businesses just kind of vanish.
And in my intro, I talked about a lot of what I do now is based on my failures. Failure is that opening the opportunity to learn the next thing that you need to know, because you failed this way, you better not repeat that.
Yeah.
So I talk about failure because me transitioning from being a teacher into being an entrepreneur, I didn't know jack. I was using the what, this is what I do. And I was building the what. Didn't bother telling anybody about it. So, so my what was really good.
Right.
But, if no one knows about it, it's not very good, is
Well,
it?
that's exactly right. And when I was doing all the music, all the bands that I was in, I neglected marketing.
Yeah.
And so now when I look at all of these companies that, they've got their 2, 3, 4 people teams, they need marketing badly. They need help.
Yes.
And it's hard. It's complicated.
Yes.
Google, RankBrain, algorithm, blogging, social media, pay-per-click, click-through rate, Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics,
Okay,
blah,
stop.
blah, 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 blah.
Believe me, I read your book, and and let's say you wrote Everybody's Doing It, Advertising Redefined, but what I really, really liked about it was that you put it into what I call authentic terms. You talked about why a baby cries. You put it into what I call analogies that the people will go, oh, Yeah, that's what that is, but it's in marketing or advertising or PR. And I often try to or tell individuals that, okay, you can't separate marketing, PR, advertising, branding. Those aren't separate entities. You build them together. Because if you don't have all of the legs on the stool, it's going to topple or not be balanced. So tell us more about everybody's doing it.
Yeah, so the Latin word advertere is where the word advertising comes from, and it simply means to turn toward.
Oh.
And so the very nature of you watching this show right now means that you're turning towards this. So this is an ad. So the best ads aren't come down to Kellen's, send a rising internet marketing, it's no. Let's educate you. So again, it's all about education. And so the analogy I make at the beginning of the book is the first thing we do is advertise as babies. We cry.
Yeah.
And that ad gets all of our needs met. Whether it's a diaper, you need milk, you're tired, whatever it is, just crying gets all your needs met.
Yeah.
And so companies in their infancy often do that. They just cry. They just try to make as much attention as they possibly can. And they should, because that's what you need at that point in time. But as they mature, that crying, just like a toddler, not working so well anymore.
We stop. Oh, they're just crying again. You don't even hear it. It really
Exactly
it becomes
right.
like white noise.
Yeah,
white
so
noise.
It's the return on investment is not there. And so the best compliment I got about the book was from someone I've never met in Hawaii, who said, "I'm on chapter 6, and I never thought a book about internet marketing would lead me to tears." And that just that meant a lot to me. And so this is not a dry manual on SEO.
But it is a valuable tool for this. I want to say the step by step what you need to look at, but it's in real terms. It's in real world examples. Because I read all of them and I'm like, oh yeah, right. Why didn't I think of that? No, but it's so easy to understand, taking a really complicated industry and making it into, I want to say, 5 simple steps of reaching your goal. You got to be visible, you got to work at it, and you have to have a story. And then depending what type of industry, that's where 4 and 5 might take different directions. I've always been a storyteller, so that's why I guess it really hit some really important notes for me as I was going through it. Everybody's doing it. You need to go out there and get this book. Yep, everybody's doing it because it will have some fascinating sparks that will make you go, the aha moments. Okay, now, I have you on here because I say you are the philanthropreneur model. You are what I mean by philanthropreneur, and I explained it earlier in the intro. Your company, you have now taken on a project, which I think is so cool, and it's with Mission High School, but I'll let you explain it.
I had a meeting with Kim McCory. He's a 4-time Emmy Award-winning documentary filmmaker.
Okay.
Literally yesterday afternoon.
Wow.
And I was talking about turning what I'll explain in a minute. It's about 12 minutes of footage I have from Mission High School, which is the first ever completely publicly funded drug addiction recovery high school in the nation, right here in Las Vegas, into a documentary. And this is, again, he's won 4 Emmys in documentary filmmaker, and his take on it was, quote, "sounds dynamite." So now I'm thinking about what this might look like.
You step into it, as you say, do it. And when you explained why you did it, it was grasping the moment. Taking advantage of the moment.
That's exactly right. So for those of you that are unfamiliar, you can go to YouTube, type in "Send It Rising," and look for the Mission High School interviews, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Basically, a good friend of mine, Don Jersey, got with some bigwigs, and they created this Mission High School. I toured it, met Principal Collins, and that day I had a couple cameras in my trunk of my car.
Because he's always carrying cameras in his car.
Started doing some YouTube videos here and there, and I was like, let's do this. And Principal Collins radio's down to my first guest, and her story is just, I'll tell it to you, it's a little heavy, but she sits down, she's 16 years old, sophomore, and she says that just last month she walked in on her mother's fiance who had committed suicide. He was drunk, and she found him and saw the impact that had on her mom, and realized that if she didn't stop her own drug addiction and if she overdosed, it might kill her mom. That might be the end of it. And she's like, hey, I just can't do that.
Yeah.
And here's a 16-year-old telling me this. I've met her for 42 seconds.
Yeah.
And these stories, and then every interview, every subsequent interview was like that.
Wow.
And I was just absolutely blown away. Could not believe it was happening. It was one of those moments where you talk about your flow.
Yeah.
You know, the whole day I spent there. And then Principal Collins at the end of the video just crying.
Yeah.
You know, and
I saw that. Yeah.
I come back to the school to do a release. I'm speaking in front of the entire school. And when my mom died, after her funeral, I took this piece of art that said, "I'm still learning" on it from her classroom, the last classroom she had taught in, and I gave it to Principal Collins. She cries again. And I was in front of the whole school. You have these incredibly powerful moments. And so you want to talk about cause marketing. Send It Rising is just this entity that just so happens to be facilitating this moment, this real moment between people. And if I go forward with the full documentary, which I'm thinking to calling it On a Mission, then it's going to be a Send It Rising production.
Yeah.
So what is Send It Rising again? Oh, they're just this internet marketing company.
Right. Yeah, but I think we both sort of think in this same, I'll call it global circle above our head that floats around. Yes, I have the Philanthropreneur Foundation, which you're on the board, which is a nonprofit that supports nonprofits. But we also have the Wealthy Teacher Show. We do training. I'm a consultant. I have 4 different books, all based on the experiences that come past us. And it's whether or not we go with the flow or we stand back and say, I'll do it when the time is better.
Yeah, that's
there is no better time to do it right now,
right.
you know, because I watched the video and been reading the book, you know, and you said, you know, this is the perfect time. You know, it's not about coming back and doing it. The moment is now. And that's the little piece that's my failure. I'm not that in-the-moment video type person. I have to plan things out. And so that's why this particular format sort of works for me, because I get to write scripts.
Absolutely.
Yep. So from your book, from your experience with Mission High School, what are some key nuggets that you want to give our audience today?
So one of the really important things, just from supporting your family, if you want to become wealthy, is understanding that in 2015, Google rolled out something called Rank Brain, which is artificial intelligence. So instantly,
it's in the book.
It makes you wonder, how the heck does that apply to me? It means that in YouTube, as you speak into a camera, if you're speaking in English, it understands every word you're saying. Every word.
Every word.
And so
translates.
when you click on the little closed captions button, it takes about 2 to 3 minutes after the video is uploaded, but boom, there's what you just said.
Wow.
And that right there, and how it plays within this new mega mind is so important for the exposure, the SEO, the branding, your ability to inject soul into what you do.
Absolutely.
If you can, you know, at home articulate your points very well and no one's in the room, that's fantastic. That's step 1. Step 2 is tell the entire world and permanently record what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Because you may perspire, the heart may beat a little bit more than usual, but that's where people respect you. And when they respect you, that's where the money
also,
comes
I mean,
from.
a little bit of nervousness isn't always bad because it keeps you on your toes. If I were to say that I do this all the time, you know, I'm used to being on stage. Hey, I taught dance and was on stage for over 30-some years. This is a different stage. Am I as nervous as some others? No. But I am so grateful that I decided to take that step.
And I'm proud of you.
Because I feel like we're sharing so much information, and that, you know, that is the essence of the Wealthy Teacher. It's not about me. It's about all of the guests that come on sharing their knowledge, their information, their wealth. They are my wealthy teachers. How can anyone get in contact with you, reach you? You know.
You can email me directly
Woohoo!
at Kellen, K-E-L-L-E-N, at senditrising.com. Again, K-E-L-L-E-N at SENDITRISING.com. Or give me a call, 702-263-0141. Again, 702-263-0141.
And I also want to tell you that he was on a big billboard, you know. Yeah. He's one of those faces looking out over the freeway. He's, you know, he's pretty well known. But thank you so much.
So
for
proud of you, so happy to be here.
Pushing me, inspiring me, being the catalyst for who I am today. And I hope that you'll come back on the show very soon.
Get him, Dr. Boyd.
We'll be right back with our next guest. And welcome back. It's Puppy Passion Moment again, brought to you by HempWorks Pet Products. And we have, once again, I'm so excited, Cheryl Green. Oh, introduce this little cutie here.
So this is Mighty. I actually prefer the name Calvin, but
Calvin.
so we're going with the Mighty Calvin is kind of the general name. This little guy is a trooper. He came to us after being hit by a car.
Oh.
And his pelvis was all out of whack. The vet didn't know, if he was going to need surgery. But he recovered nicely, and we don't like him to hear, but he's got an enlarged heart.
Oh, no, don't let him hear that.
No. He doesn't know.
Okay.
But he is just the sweetest thing.
Yeah, he's been up here for the last, 10 minutes, and has just been as calm and sweet as Cheryl. I guess we should talk about what we're talking about.
I guess, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's not just the dog.
Cheryl is representing Hearts Alive Village, animal rescue here in Las Vegas. And the reason I gravitate to Hearts Alive a lot because it is the philanthropreneur model. It's what I talk about all the time, that you take a nonprofit and you create a viable revenue stream. So we have a video of the actual food store, the pet supplies, but you also now have opened up a thrift store.
We opened up the thrift store about 2 months ago, and we actually just expanded it this past month.
Okay.
And so now we've got 2 warehouses full
Uh-oh.
of, it's amazing. We just had a furniture store that went out of business and donated their entire inventory to us.
That's okay. So if you need furniture, just think of it as I'll call it a mini. Those other places that you can go get the used furniture from.
Right. Yeah, we don't talk about this.
No, but think beyond the pet. Now, when you get there, I want you to look at the pets and donate too. But you can go there and look at all different types of things, anything that you would find in a thrift store. So this, once again, okay. I'm sorry. I get off track when I look at the puppies. We
fall in love with everybody who comes through the rescue, but every once in a while there's a special one that almost comes home with you.
Yeah.
This is him for me.
Okay.
Yep.
So the rescue is really supported by a lot of community members. Big dogs. I just, saw that they ran a whole campaign the whole month of March. So tell us about relationships and partnerships like that, what you're looking for, so, if somebody else wants to jump on board and help you out.
So we rely a lot on our, community partners and any business, that would like to partner with us, we appreciate.
Yeah.
It's good for us, obviously, but it's good for them too, because
absolutely.
They reach an audience that they wouldn't have necessarily reached before.
And as and what I teach is cause marketing, and you do the whole tell your story.
Yes.
This is a level of adding that to your marketing strategies, but you're doing your passion, Even if it's not your passion, you need to do it.
And I just, I want to say a huge thank you. We've got one partner, it's Bulldog Heating and Air Conditioning. This organization
Bulldog.
has been, exactly. And, I met the owner and he said he was looking for an animal rescue to support. They give us a percentage of their monthly sales.
Wow.
Whether the people, the customers come through us or not, we get a percentage of their bottom
That's
line.
fab. But businesses, understand that is a strategy that you can become what is called a benefit corporation. Not that you file and get that type of listing, but by doing what is called long-term pledges to an organization that really means something to you. Then you leverage it with cause marketing, and you can really elevate. In the other episode where I had Kellen on, we were talking about marketing and how to maximize it. Come out and take pictures with the puppies. I love puppies.
Everybody
loves
loves puppies.
And so that's why we have our puppy passion moments. But I mean, I individually support nonprofits, but the puppy passion moments just pull at your heartstrings, and there's so many. So before we end this segment, anything coming up or something you want to talk about?
You know what? Just come to the thrift store. Check it out. It's at 4275 West Bell Drive.
Where's Bell?
It's off Tropicana and Arville.
Oh, okay.
So,
See,
right off
I
there.
don't know the whole city, but
There. It's near the Orleans, like in that area.
Okay.
And we're open now Wednesday through Sunday. So we've
Okay.
expanded the store and expanded the
Okay,
hours.
so the thrift store is not connected to the pet supply. Okay, so
Nope.
you've got two
We're
locations.
taking over the city.
Yes,
Give
well,
us time.
let's have this empire grow here. Once again, this is Cheryl Green, and if you want to catch up with what she's doing, that's CherylGreen.com. No, Cheryl Speaks.
CherylGreenSpeaks.com, yes.
.com.
Thank you.
Have to get that. And you can find her and all these little adorable and even more at Hearts Alive Village, Las Vegas. And we'll be right back. We've had so much fun today with our guests. I want to make sure that you follow us on Facebook. That's The Wealthy Teacher Show. And also on YouTube, The Wealthy Teacher Show. We've been able to reach over 100 subscribers in just 30 days. And so you can find us at youtube.com/C, that's for channel, /The Wealthy Teacher Show. I am so excited that we've had people join us. I also want to thank our sponsors, Agent with Heart. Agent with Heart real estate agents elevate your brand by giving back to your clients' charitable cause. You'll find them at www.agentwithheart.net. And also Softfront, innovating CRM and marketing for over 25 years. You'll find them at Softfront, that's SOFFRONT.com. And of course, HempWorks CBD oil, changing lives one drop at a time. If you want to learn more about those products, visit HempWorks, that's HEMPWORX.com/Roxplace. We'll see you next time.